Since the first American Civil War, we have been occupied by a loose confederation of desperately stupid cultists called the Ku Klux Klan. And they'll tell you it stands for the Greek kuklos, meaning circle, circle clan. But in fact, the direct translation is ku, meaning to strike, and then klux being the sound a chicken makes. So it's actually Middle Latin for chicken shit. The KKK moved the Ottoman Empire after World War I to Saudi Arabia. 6 years later, subtle, because their version of Christianity doesn't work without Muslims. The whole world has had it with America's shenanigans, and you can't really blame them, but on the other hand, we could just reform IRS stipulations for a religion, which is currently any system of beliefs shared by however many jingleheads. So the current definition encourages cultists. It's not friendly to real religions, such as ones like our forefathers had when they gave us the First Amendment. The Constitution is not obligated to sail for fake religions. But when you say you're against the KKK, they say, oh, he's with them. Well, they're not with me either, but I'm worth more than your whole goddamn operation. You sure that's how you want to play it? The last king of Scotland from Uganda, he literally ate a guy. I've been trying to reach Washington for 10 years directly through official channels about specific international incidents. And if it wasn't you, see what I mean about loosely confederated? The Muslims helped Robin Hood, but they also invented the sheriff. I did not run away from the military. I didn't steal from them. I got ran off for a political agenda, a foreign one. So these skin puppets followed me around for another 15 years trying to pin cocaine on me, and then sent Joey Greco down here to do it himself. I tried to subpoena the hospital that actually ripped off the insurance company. The lawyer took me for 5 consultations at $100 a pop, and then finally I had to go look into it for myself. When I got back, the love of my life was 7 months pregnant. They raped my reason for living the minute I left town and got her strung out just to connect the Pentagon to a conflict of interest. Religion is a search for universal and eternal truth via Socrates, Jesus, and Buddha. It's not an excuse to take a dive and point the finger at someone that will turn around and stomp your pointy little head into the ground until there's nothing left but the footprints of Jesus. We're looking at World War III with Iran, and we got the gay mafia, the Nigerians, and the KKK all trying to blame the Jews. I have never been affiliated with France because 2 boys can't make a baby. I've never been gay. There's no such thing as a gay church. And if she wasn't a virgin when we met, they wouldn't even know who she was if they weren't following little boys around. Switzerland is against us attacking Iran, which is a tyrannical Islamic regime, to get our money back because they're compromised. And in doing so, they sacrifice their own neutrality. Now, Switzerland is on the table. Since the late 19th century, Switzerland's been neutral. Now they've taken a side with the Iranians, so that we're now free to bomb Switzerland for the first time in 200 years. We might not need Iran. We just settle for Switzerland. The point I'm trying to make, I don't want to, but you people have no idea what you're dealing with. You should be more concerned about whoever is letting the 3-6 Mafia steal mail from the Secret Service and pass their own version of the message along. Like something happened to Pope Francis and it was Trump's fault. I have a Hippocratic oath to Christ, which was submitted to Pope Francis on Twitter before he died. God rest his soul. I have a relic from the Holy Catacombs. And I have a package, first-class package from Vatican City, which was slashed open in my absence with a box cutter, which may or may not suggest that Al-Qaeda is excommunicating their targets without consulting the Bishop of Rome. I have this in my physical possession. It's not subject to the opinion of a bunch of jingleheads. I've never perjured myself under oath where the Jehovah's Witnesses would have a reason. Claiming any individual against their will for any church is a violation of Article 18 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, legal neither here nor there. I've never perjured myself under oath. There's no reason I would be stuck, unless they've been trying to cover up raping me in surgery and kill me before I found out since I was 6 years old. If you're in a cult that sacrifices little boys, the Vatican will never forgive virgin sacrifice, and I'm under no moral obligation. Nobody should have to explain how they know a bunch of liars is full of shit just to talk to their own government from their own soil, let alone their own church. So clandestine, mutant, retard, zombie, faggot assholes have been stealing mail from the Vatican since World War II, and France is like, we are not affiliated? If it's going to be Muslim games, I'm worth more than your whole goddamn operation? The KKK is not the sole proprietor of white Christians. That would be where the problem is coming from. But I will acknowledge owing Germany about 100,000 Syrians, right? Meaning Germans. And that's because I was trying to report crimes against humanity. And they thought that I was on some kind of list where they don't have to listen to me. And they didn't act on it. So I rendered unto Caesar straight to Wells Fargo, took the dive, and Germany had to absorb it because they're on my side, not the Germans. You have the KKK to thank for that. So it's no wonder the world is sick of Wall Street's bullshit. This whole time, you know, I've been mostly trying to avoid another Romanov massacre. Islam isn't big on taking no for an answer. Anybody raping 84,000 Boy Scouts probably isn't either. But figure you got England on the one side, and then Uganda, and then any lesser, you know, some Hamlet sticking their nose in. I'm like, BlackRock's going to change colors, get Warren Buffett out of there. I'm not sticking my neck out. I'm just saying, you know, due diligence. You have no idea what you're dealing with because Islam uses homos and fucking retards to defend its enemies. And I have never stood within the walls of any mosque that is still standing in the eyes of God. No person, living or dead, has ever witnessed me exit a mosque which did not explode afterwards. God did not mistake me for a Muslim. Homos and fucking retards are taking over the entire planet, America first. Some traditions believe everyone has to be dumb enough to be pushed around by anyone dumb enough to believe it. I am not obligated to the limitations of what passes for intelligence these days. The Central Intelligence Agency wants to join me. First, I shall do no harm, and then some people just can't be reasoned with.